Welcome back to CCSN Snacktime. Benjamin Parris and Matt Weiss, joined today by one of my great personal friends, Ella Barclay. Ella, how are you?
I am good, Ben. How are you guys?
I'm doing well. Very excited to have you on the show today. Gonna kick it right off. Tennis season did not happen this year and is not happening this year. So initially, how are you feeling about that?
It hasn't really sunk in yet. It hasn't really hit me. I've been very optimistic with hoping and praying that Chassa maybe could salvage our season, even if it would be like 2 weeks long. Obviously that's not the most ideal season or quite realistic at this point. So when they did announce that spring sports were canceled, I was disappointed, and I think I really feel for the seniors on my team because I know like this is a huge year for them and it's super important, especially for us in tennis. Like we love our seniors and we make their year super special and important. So it kind of stinks for everyone.
And we asked this question. This is just about the character of the team, but the Hill twins said that your guys' class, just the junior class, is so strong. So looking ahead to next year, what do you think that might look like?
I mean, yeah, the Hills are 100% accurate. We have, out of our 11 players on varsity one, 7 of us are juniors going on seniors next year. I mean, we'll only be losing 2 seniors, so hopefully we'll have people either bump up, or I know some new good freshmen coming in that we'd love to see next year. That'll be a great asset to the team. So I think we're all pretty excited for next year.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, that's what you have at this point is to look forward to next year.
Yeah.
Curious, you said 7 out of the 12 spots are juniors?
Yep.
And that's spectacular. And a lot of these girls, I mean, I know most of them or several of them, and I know a sophomore or 2 who I think are on the squad as well. But did you guys get much time together? Were you still working through the ladder, or was that kind of determined? I know you have a new coach this year, so I mean, there was a lot of new things happening this year after the great coach retired on by her own choices, going out on. But curious where you got in that process.
Yeah, so usually for the past 2 years, I've experienced around 4 weeks of tryouts. Sometimes it's longer, but that's just because we have a lot of really good players, so they just want to make sure where you end up is exactly where you need to be. And this year we had 2 weeks, which I didn't know. I was kind of relieved because tryouts are very stressful, and since they're so long, you can't quite relieve that stress for a long period of time. But I think it was a little bit different because the last week of tryouts, the week before spring break, we were kind of finalizing everything and like setting things up, but we never got to practice together. We never played a match. We didn't even get partners. So we didn't quite like even get to finalize the team and get through the tryout process, because that's kind of like the light at the end of the tunnel that always keeps me going. Like tennis season for all of us is so fun.
Yeah.
And so if you can get through tryouts, like it's the best feeling just to play once you're done trying out.
And not to put you on the spot and make you feel cocky, and you don't have to answer this if you want, but I mean, having your class last year, did you play varsity as a freshman?
Yes.
Okay. Because last year I know, going to tryouts, maybe there still was some anxiousness and nervousness about for sure being on the team or not. But then I guess being a varsity player for 2 years going in this year, you felt a little more secure, a little more like you were walking into more of a leadership role, a veteran role than 2 years. Yeah.
Yeah, I think especially if you're an incoming junior or senior and you've done the tryout process, it gets less stressful. Yeah. Last year was probably the most stressful because it was longer than freshman year. But, I mean, this year you kind of come in with a different mindset just because you're a little more experienced. So it kind of eases the nerves.
I was just curious if you at least place where you pick a game season, because one thing I know for sure about Ella, she's probably got the top 5 shoe game for females at school and top 10 for the entire school. So I'm curious where you're at.
I switched over tennis shoes last season, and I was super excited because I love the ones that I have now, and I was just excited to play season in them. And I have a few different colors, and so I could vary a few different shoe colors depending on which tops we were wearing. So I was pretty excited.
Yeah, I was looking forward to seeing those.
Yeah.
My question is very similar. You were telling me tennis gets a lot of stuff, and even your parents get this stuff. How
Yeah.
exciting is just getting all of the merch?
Honestly, that is one of the most exciting parts because our incoming seniors get to design a lot of the clothes, and they have a big say in what we get to wear. And this year we had so many cool and exciting pieces that I was just excited about. Like, our sweatshirts are black this year, which I love. And unfortunately, we didn't get our sweatpants because Nike made a printing error. So we had to reprint them, but now we can't get our sweatpants because, which is a bummer. But every year, clothes is the most exciting thing right before tryouts. It almost inspires you. It's very exciting.
Yeah, I would second that. I mean, last year, the past few years, I've always been jealous of the gear that the tennis team, the girls' tennis team in particular, gets. I mean, year before, 2 years ago, you got your freshman year, these blue hoodies that had a Parris on the front and the year on the back. And Coach Jacobs got me one of those. And then last year, Laura sweats. I mean, still, I don't think there's a cooler pair of sweats that any team has gotten. Yeah.
We loved those. Last year's outfits we loved. This year's outfits we were even more excited about. So it's kind of a bummer that we don't get to give them their full season and really wear them.
By the way, Ella is a proud member of CCSN. She has given herself the nickname of creative director. I will give her the title here of head of merchandise because she's been helping out there. So we'll have some new stuff rolling out in the fall. But Ella, what is your favorite thing about CCSN? That is not a question we've gotten to ask anyone yet.
Well, when I started CCSN my junior year. I didn't know what I was getting myself into because I had Weiss sophomore year for history, and I heard he taught another class, and I was like, oh, that seems fun. So some of my friends took the class as well, and I was like, what could go wrong? This is awesome. And I really enjoyed my experience. I'm going to take it again next year. It's almost like a family, community situation. I love it. I've made so many new friends because of it. Ben, you're one of them. And I don't know, it's really cool because being an athlete, it's obviously great to play your sport and things like that, but also just seeing the community and being part of supporting other athletics and I guess elevating their talents and really putting them on a platform is super cool. And I just think it's really interesting what we do, and it's always so fun going to the broadcasts. I love it. And I love everyone in the class. So it's pretty great.
That was a great plug. That was awesome. Yeah, it's obviously way different than a world history class, but you captured it. I don't need to restate it. I think it's all of those things and more, and really a lot more ownership that you guys take of it, and having just great, passionate kids from all different walks of Crete kind of come together to really do great things for the school. But in the midst, I have several images of you Friday nights working the camera at Stutler, Ben on the mic, but you and your girl posse, freezing and rotating on the camera, or you helping out with one of my kids, Millie in particular. And that's all part of it, being up in the press box and that, having Zaw before and being goofy. So
That's
Max
awesome.
wanted to show you.
Max, let's see it.
We just picked up some new kicks for tennis right before quarantine, and then we haven't gotten to use them yet. So
Max, I'm a big fan. Those look good.
As soon as they make Kobe's in his size, though, I think that's going to be his tennis shoe.
Oh yeah.
gonna be my basketball shoes.
Or his hoop shoe.
Well, I know
Oh,
you wear a lot of Nike, Weiss, New Balance. Weiss wears tons. He wears a lot of Nike, a lot of New Balance. But do you have like one particular shoe? What's your favorite?
New Balance, I bet.
Me or Ella?
Let's hear them both.
I'll let ladies go first.
Oh, thank you. Here's the thing. It is so hard to choose. It's like choosing one of your children. I have so many shoes, and it depends on the outfit I'm going for. I mean, usually, like, my day-to-day shoe that I wear the most are my white Jordans, just because they go with everything, and you can never go wrong with them. So they're kind of my staple, I would say.
When Ella first wore white Jordans to my class, she was in my first period last year, and she was always about 5 to 7 minutes late, especially during the spring, and she'd walk in with her double tennis bag, but it was all good. She had like a 98 in the class, so she earned it. But she walked in with Jordans like, I don't know, the fourth week of school, and I was like, hold up, this girl's got different kind of style. And then just got better. But yeah. So to answer that question, I mean, my favorite shoes of all time are the Jordan 3s that Max was just holding up, and
No, those are not
I can't I haven't had a pair since he was born, but he's had every pair of every size that he has, and they're obviously significantly cheaper to get them. So
mine. Those aren't mine.
I don't really have any Jordans, but my favorite go-to are the Nike Dunk Lows. I fell in love with those when I was 18. I remember buying my first pair, and I've always had at least 1 or 2 pairs in my rotation since. And now being a teacher, I can wear them with a pair of khakis or slacks and still make it look good. I'm too little of a guy to get away with like bulkier Jordans with a pair of khakis. I just feel like a Oompa Loompa. So I still think they're cool. And then I do. The past few years, I've started to fall in love with different variations of New Balance just because they're comfortable and I like the way they look and feel. But nothing, I still think Nike, as far as swagger, nothing will ever be able to top that.
My next question for Ella is, what are you watching on Netflix right now? There's been a few things you've heard on the show, but what are you currently watching?
Well, Ben, I'm kind of late to the train just because the first few weeks of quarantine I was binge watching other shows, but I'm currently on All American, and let me tell you, it is so good. I wasn't sure if the hype was going to be worth it, so you kind of walk in with like high expectations, but really just such a good show.
You still on season 1? Ben, are you still on season 1?
No, I finished it.
You finished it. Okay, I don't want to spoil anything.
I'm like halfway through season 2.
What episode are you on? Because that changes a lot.
Am I allowed to discuss what happens in the episode? Because that's the only way I know. I don't know the number.
Go for it.
They're at the cotillion, and
Oh,
Spencer James.
big change. Yep. You got a ways to go.
You still got a lot more coming, but yeah, I felt that. That's not fun to watch late at night.
Yeah. I saw it right before I hopped on the show, and I was like, Ella, you're going to be filming in a few minutes. You can't start crying. You can't do that.
Now, with good shows and good movies, there's always good snacks. What is your go-to snack?
You know, recently it's been popcorn and Goldfish.
Ooh,
Not together,
Ooh.
but I've tried it together, but the flavors for me just don't combine in the way I hoped they would. But I've been eating a lot of popcorn while watching movies, and then like my late night snack is like Goldfish.
What do you have with you right now for CCSN Snacktime?
Oh, Goldfish, of course, extra cheddar. If it's not extra cheddar, I don't want it.
You're right. To go, with you got the Goldfish. I brought the popcorn, so that rounds you out. Weiss, what do you have today?
Max, you go first.
I have popcorn.
No, you don't.
I mean, pie booty. I love it. popcorn.
Yeah, we have
Now this is
popcorn at night. We
pirate-
mix it with M&Ms, but he has pirate
Let me
booty.
tell you what you have. You have this.
I have some, I don't know, Power trail mix, Costco special.
Yeah. You're not allowed to eat chocolate anymore.
Very nice. Staying healthy during quarantine. That's what you like to see. Ella, are you finding a way to still play tennis? I know social distancing, staying at home, stuff like that, but is there a way to still play tennis right now?
I mean, I guess, yeah. There have been a few times where I've gone to like local courts that are open and people aren't there. And unfortunately, I can't take anyone that I play with like out of my club or out of creek tennis. So I'll take my little sister. She played tennis through the age of 10 and then she quit. So her skills are a little limited. So it's been quite an experience trying to figure out how to play with her, but still making sure like I get exercise and I'm still like having a good practice.
Yeah.
Sure.
So
Yeah,
that's been the hardest part.
we'll find a way. And what does a summer or individual tennis season outside of school look like?
Well, for me, I play for Inverness, and I play for our old varsity one coach who also retired with Chris. She has her own club, and so I'll take privates from her. But I play out of Inverness, and over the summer, it's pretty intense. Their classes are 3 hours long, and it's from like 1 to 3. And so you kind of, it takes a lot out of you. It's a lot of energy, and especially during like the prime heat of the summer, you can kind of only play outside. You could play inside,
Yeah.
but that won't help with the heat. So,
How is your ping pong game?
well, it depends on who I'm playing. I would say I'm relatively mediocre. I'm not a beast at ping pong, but I mean, I'm not terrible.
I think a CCSN sponsored ping pong tournament needs to get on the docket next year. Got to figure
Oh,
that out.
yes. I will definitely play in that.
Now, would you agree with the statement that ping pong is more than half intimidation and the rest of it might be skill?
I mean, maybe. I mean, it depends. Like, if I don't know. I'm like a short person when I'm playing someone who like has like intense, like maybe tennis skills, or I know that they're like, oh, this person's good at ping pong. Like, I don't want to mess with them. Then I'm gonna get a little nervous. I might start doubting myself. So I guess, yeah, maybe.
Weiss, so any last thoughts today?
This has been a blast. It's been great connecting with you. I wasn't for sure if you were taking the class next year, but it was great news hearing that you're taking it. You added so much positive energy to both room 703, but then also all the Friday nights in the press box and everything else you helped out with. One of the cool things about you that is evident is how selfless you are, because you were just excited to be there and willing to help out in whatever we needed. You're clearly very talented both academically and athletically, and you have no ego. And I love just your personality, and I'm thankful that I get to spend more time with you next year. So
Thank you. I'm super excited for next year.
yeah.
Thanks for calling on, Ella. Hope to see you soon. Hope you're staying well, and I hope to see you in the fall.
Sounds great. Hope to see you soon, Ben.
See ya.
Awesome.
Thanks for
Talk to you soon.
coming.
Of course.